Thank you, Andy, for inviting me here and for giving me the opportunity to talk about the first cloud revolution of history. It started here in the US and has been around for more than a century now. And now, no, it's not AWS. I'm referring to the electricity grid. Look, it is a service on demand. Just one click, and you have the light. And it is also pay as you go. If you switch it off, then you are only billed for your actual consumption. It has been growing ever since, and for such a long time that people working in the energy sector consider natural to think about energy as a proxy of the wealth of nation. The richer the nation, the higher its energy intensity. But then came the big crisis, which as well started here, and along with Lehman Brothers and many others, swept away this belief. Now, the world has changed. The old cause-effect correlation, which we used to know, are now gone. Now we live in the age of decoupling. Gross domestic products and energy demand are not related anymore. Neither are oil prices and oil demand, and nor oil prices and investment in renewable sources. And so, in all this turmoil, if the world has changed, Enel is bound to change as well. Enel features 89 gigawatt installed capacity, more than 40% of that coming from renewable sources. We have 1.9 million kilometer distribution line, and we are blessed to serve more than 61 million customers. Fortune magazine listed Enel as 5th out of 550 companies that can change the world. And yes, we still believe that energy is a crucial service to play a role in nowadays society. And about the less obvious concept of a smart utilities, let me leave you with this. 1 out of 4 digital meters installed in the world has something to do with Enel. And eventually, for those of you who are not accustomed to my accent yet, Enel was born in Italy, but now has a global footprint. I know that numbers are difficult to remember, so maybe rankings may make things easier. Comparing to the main European utilities, we are number 3 in conventional generation, but number 1 in renewables, number 1 in distribution extension, and in million customers. And thanks God, number 1 also in market capitalization, growing in a sector that lost almost 40% of its value in the last 6 years. So for all these reasons, and mainly for the last one, we look at digitalization as a necessity rather than an ambition. And necessity is the mother of invention. So we think that the second cloud revolution, which we are celebrating here today, is a wonderful opportunity for us to foster innovation and accelerate change in Enel. IT operations in Enel were bimodal. By bimodal, I mean almost neurotic, because we had a total outsourcing model serving Spain and South America, while Italy and East Europe were served by on-premises data center. And so our decision was clear and straightforward. Go to the cloud as fast as you can. That meant closing the more than 20 years lasting outsourcing contract and using our data center as a swap areas for our non-ready application. The complexity of the challenge came from the conjunction of 2 factors. The relevant volume involved, which you may see here, and an absolutely fixed time frame. That meant moving almost 25 servers per day, Monday to Friday, including Saturdays, Sundays, Christmas, New Year's Eve, Easter, whatever bank holiday you can think of. We involved many people in this project because with John Donne, no man is an island entire of itself. And I think that this applies also to companies. Accenture, in this transformation journey, supported us as main partner. And yes, you can imagine we completed the challenge, but I still wonder why. This slide is probably the main reason why I'm here today. We managed to get those savings, half of those savings right after the migration, but then playing with the services offered by AWS, we managed to get to those numbers. And so what? Yet another migration to cloud story? Yes, indeed. But this was massive and fast. And while massive is easily coupled with corporation, that is not always the case with fast. We were lucky enough to ignite a virtuous cycle between top management and IT team. My first and foremost goal was to convince two people in the company. One was my CEO, which is actually sitting there. How am I doing, Carlo, now at the moment? Well, thanks. And the second, our CEO, because you know, moving to the cloud has to be a company decision, not an IT move. Having said that, it was all about execution and tight monitoring. About the team, well, for once, having the operation people, the IT operation people had the opportunity to lead the dance instead of following the latest developer trend. And I can assure you that this has been a fantastic motivation level. Also, the widespread concept of doing the right things, of being the good ones, so that nobody could complain, helped a lot. And eventually, we tolerated unfortunate technology choices sometimes, hazardous planning, and even poor service quality management. But one thing we did not tolerate at all was immobility. Having said that, what's next? In the near future, our idea is cloud normality, moving from cloud first to cloud only. And so getting rid of data center, of mainframes, and moving to 100% full cloud operating model. And as mature cloud users, we also want to go serverless, moving from server to services. IoT in Enel means enabling the rise of an ecosystem of energy management systems which will completely transform the utility business model in the next few years. And you know, an ecosystem needs a platform. And we elected AWS IoT as the enabling platform for IoT in Enel, because we needed a scalable, reliable, and integrated solution on which to build our new energy management system. And with this, I appreciate your time. It has been a privilege. Grazie. Ciao.